and talk through what is going on in the California housing market. This only feels like it is necessary because I just spent the last 8 days in California for Thanksgiving to go visit some family. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about the top 5 California cities to watch and buy in right now. P.S. If you are new here, my name is Chelsea Winstead. I am a home financing strategist and mortgage broker. I am licensed all over the country. I have helped hundreds of people directly from TikTok figure out a game plan home buying strategy. Not to mention, I also do personalized matchmaking with top agents in the area that you live in. So I really help you from start to finish on the entire home buying process. But it all starts with where you live and what is a realistic expectation as far as buying. Okay, so let's kind of dive in. So overall, California right now is having a lot of cooling going on. What cooling means is that prices are essentially flat, homes are taking longer to sell, and buyers finally have a lot more leverage, especially when we are talking about areas a bit outside of like the Bay Area. Okay, a couple key stats to note. In California, the homes for sale, they're up 6.3% year over year, which means we have more inventory right now than we did last year. Now, I like this one. Homes with price drops is 28.1%, which is up from 24%. So essentially more than a quarter of homes that are being listed, they are dropping in price, which then for you as a buyer can be beneficial. So overall, sellers don't have the same chokehold that they did in 2021 and 2022. You're not stealing houses right now. Like, that's not a thing. We haven't totally moved to that area, but you are totally in a position as a buyer to negotiate again, especially on homes that have been sitting on the market. So let's dive into some specifics. I'm going to talk about Sacramento, Riverside, San Diego, Los Angeles, San Jose, and San Francisco, aka the Bay Area, are going to be the main ones that I hit on this video. As a quick note, when I work with any of my clients, one of the first things I do is, first of all, send you some specific numbers and realistic price points that you can afford based on what you want your monthly payment to be and based on what you have currently saved up for your down payment. In addition to that, once we actually go through numbers, we go through your pre-qualification and review your personal info, I actually get you onboarded to a platform that I use, which will break down the city that you are buying in and will actually tell you, is this a buyer's market? Is this a seller's market? It gives you really personalized information. So if I do not mention a city that you want to buy in California, do not fret. Go to the link on my profile, click the first or second option, and we will make a game plan regardless. Okay, let's start with Sacramento. So prices, let's start here, are down 5.9% year over year. The median price point right now in Sacramento is $490,000. Time on market is 34 days. Okay, so this is up from 21 days last year. So slower, but also not like they're not sitting on the market forever. The percentage of price drops in Sacramento is 39%. So, fun fact, Sacramento is literally the #1 most searched relocation metro in the US right now. So what that means is you do have a lot of people like migrating to the area. What you're going to see though is likely an adjustment once the inbound migration catches up with the price points. But at this moment right now, prices are actually softer, which is really great for buyers who want to have more affordability. And it just means you have more negotiating power, especially when we are seeing that the homes are sitting for, over a month and 40% of listings are cutting prices. Right now, technically, I would say Sacramento is a balanced market, but we are tilting at the moment towards it being more of a buyer's market based on those days on market and on the amount of price drops that we're seeing. Okay, let's talk about Riverside. So prices are actually flat, so roughly flat year over year. Also, as a PS, most of the time, every year, home prices increase in value, right? So the fact that in some places home prices are going down, like Sacramento's is down and Riverside's is flat, is really indicative that we are moving in these areas into more of a buyer's market because of these reasons. Time on market here in Riverside is between 49 and 63 days. This is up pretty significantly from the 30s to 40s from last year. The other thing is here, price drops are about 26.2%. What I would determine here is that the market is likely going to be balanced. It's a little bit seller leaning on like really hot listings, but you have a lot more buyer leverage than say like the typical Bay Area. Okay, San Diego, prices are down 2.1% year over year. Time on market is currently at 41 days, which is up from 28 days last year. The percentage of price drops are 34%. However, turnover here is very low. So only 1.6% of homes have changed hands in the first 9 months of 2025, which is one of the lowest in the country. What that really means is that low turnover means not a lot of options. But what's interesting is that the homes that are listed are sitting longer and cutting prices more often, which actually then kind of insinuates that those opportunities are more focused on the buyer having more leverage. So big picture, inventory is tight here, but when something has been sitting, almost always you have the opportunity to negotiate and, you just have more leverage as the buyer. So market here technically is balanced. However, we are trending more buyer friendly for long lasting listings. Okay. In Los Angeles, the median price is slightly down year over year, which is still $1.02 million, which is crazy to think about considering I'm licensed all over the place. That is a very large number. However, so the the median is about 905, which is slightly up from last year. Now get this though. Time on market is approximately 60 days in the city and 55 days in the county. Both are slower moving than last year. The amount of price drops are 23.6%. So almost a quarter of these prices are getting dropped. Now, here's kind of what's interesting. Expensive markets like LA are giving some of the biggest dollar discounts to cut their listings to try to get activity and action. Specifically, the average discount in LA is right at $61,000. So no, this market is not cheap, but sellers need to sell. And the longer that the home sits, the more likely you are to see obviously movement on price and also for you to have, again, more leverage as the buyer. Overall, we do have some of the sub-markets of LA kind of leaning in the buyer vicinity, it being a buyer's market, but overall, technically, I would say that LA is still seller leaning because of the overall limited inventory. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about San Jose and San Francisco. So first off, San Jose. So median price point here is $1.44 million. Whoa, again, if you are from Cali, you're like, yeah, no biggie. If you are watching this and from somewhere else, be thankful for where you live. This is up 1.6% year over year. Time on market, get this, is only 18 days. The percentage that is selling above the list price is 4.1. Basically, homes are selling fast and well over asking, and this is still a very hot seller's market. Let's compare that to San Francisco. Median price is $1.48 million. This is actually down 4.5% year over year. So the difference is San Jose is up 1.6% year over year. San Fran is down 4.5%. So just something to note. Time on market though is 19 days. Percentage that are selling above the list price is 60.5%. And, again, you have to be ready to rock and roll if you're in this area. Inventory here is tight and, luxury is once again like booming thanks to AI and tech wealth here. But just be prepared if you're looking to buy in either San Jose or San Francisco, anywhere in the Bay Area, you are going to be looking at a competitive market. So in summary, right now in Cali, prices basically like overall are flat. Homes are taking longer to sell. About a third of homes in Cali are still going over the asking, but another quarter to a third are being cut in price before they actually sell. So as a reminder, in places like Sacramento, Riverside, and parts of San Diego, buyers are finally having room to negotiate, and especially that on homes that have been on the market for a while. However, the Bay Area, San Jose, San Francisco, still very much a seller's market, especially when homes are priced competitively. So be ready to rumble if those are the places you're looking to buy in. As a PS, one thing I always recommend, I think a lot of people approach this home buying process backwards. The first person you really should be chatting with is someone like me, a financing professional, mortgage professional who can help look at your numbers and tell you what you are realistically going to be able to do. You really should start here way before you're talking to a real estate agent because quite frankly, they can't really show you anything if you don't know what your numbers are. Also, as a side note, something that I do personally when I work with my clients, especially if you don't have somebody already in mind, I do personalized matchmaking where once we figure out your numbers, where you want to buy, the kind of home, the area, etc., we will actually go out, personally interview agents on your behalf, and then find the perfect match for you. This is all at no charge at all. It is just done to make sure that you have a very seamless experience while you are purchasing. Other side note, if you are a first-time home buyer in California, I do have access to all of the state down payment assistance programs if that is something that we are needing to tap into. But either way, I would love to create a plan. I would love to strategize with you. I would love to lay out what is possible for you to be able to purchase in the market that you personally live in. As always, if you have any questions, my comments are open. And if not, I will see you guys soon. Hope you all had a fabulous and very full Thanksgiving.